Okay, so some people are going to tell you not to ask your tarot negative questions. They're going to tell you that you should always stay on the happy side and all that. The problem with that is, in my opinion, is you're not seeing the full picture. If we're only asking the good stuff and we're never asking where we're failing, kind of failing ourselves in that. I'm one of those super blunt and honest people. I'm just going to tell you how it is. If I do a reading for you and there's bad stuff in there, I'm going to tell you about it. It doesn't help us to shy away from these things. It doesn't help us to grow if we don't face the things that may not be as wanted or happy, or, when we're getting our faults pointed out, whatever it is. It's part of us. We need to be seeing that. We need to be recognizing it. So as I'm journeying on, depending on who I'm working with, I do this with ancestors. I do this with the Morrigan. I did it with Kari. All the different deity that I've worked with and spirit I've worked with, I do ask these questions of what am I doing well and where am I failing? To me, these are important things because I want to know, where I'm doing well, so it doesn't need to constantly be my focus right now, and switch over to where am I failing and understand that in a deeper way so I can start correcting that issue. So for an example, this morning I asked Hella, what am I doing well and where am I failing? So what am I doing well? It's here. I'm taking the journey well. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm learning and I'm standing in my power. So I'm not really going to ask anything else about that. I don't need to know more depth about what I'm doing well. If I'm doing it well, I'm obviously doing fine. Where I am failing came up with our bond. So our bond together and the exchange, the partnership that we have. And the reason I'm failing in this, or the aspects that I'm failing in this, it isn't the bond together. Where I'm failing is in the Hierophant. And that means sharing and talking about the things that she has shown me and that we have gone through, what that partnership is and the information she's giving me. And the Queen of Swords is very much about that cunning speech and that strategic speech. And Hierophant is about, spreading the word. So, yeah. Okay. Then I asked aspects of that. And this is talking about, her being that light, that guide, and showing people what kind of guide she is, bringing new aspects of her to life, bringing the depth of her to light. Because there's so much conflated information and twisted information. She's been taken from a very expansive goddess to a very narrowed goddess. This happens a lot with our deity. The things that we see now and things that are being put out there associated with and all that is a very narrowed view of all the power that they encompass. And I've talked about this numerous times before, but it's important to keep reiterating that so people keep thinking about it, that there is a lot more depth than what we get when we just look them up online, or, we'll read about them in a lore, because none of that was written during the times of them, or during the times where they were heavily worshipped without a Christian context to them. So yeah, it's really about that, bringing her to light and giving her more depth, showing people her depth. Her wisdom and my wisdom, doing it with wisdom. And wisdom comes from experience. It's not just knowledge. It's not just information we gain. Wisdom comes from experiencing that. And then the shadow work, showing the beauty in the darkness, letting the beauty from the darkness emerge. And shadow work is really heavy in this. And I'm going to tell you why in just a few minutes. And so the hidden pieces, she's got me covered. She's got my back. I'm in a place of comfort. I'm in a place of power, but I need to use it. And so I can't get too comfy. And then Bear Medicine is back to talking about that shadow work again, because these cards down here are all about aspects. They're the actual actions and aspects of the work. And Hella's right. In a way, I am holding back. I haven't been talking about our conversations and things that she has shown me in the visions and what she has told me. And it's not because of anything on my side. It's because sharing these things, some of the things that we're going to go into, are difficult for people. They're going to have a hard time with it. They may, get really nasty back. But that's my problem. That's not her problem. That's going to be my own issues to deal with. It has nothing to do with her in that way. So there was something that she told me about what happens after death and before rebirth. So that middle piece. And I need to share that. So what she told me and what she showed me is when you die, everybody goes to her domain. She is the well of souls. Her domain is the well of souls. Her domain is the place that you go between death and rebirth. And what happens in that well is a reflection and a shadow work. We always are told and reiterated in so many religions and stuff that the divine judge us. The divine are going to judge us at the end and tell us where we're going and what we did right and what we did wrong. That's the complete opposite of what Hella told me. Hella was very specific that the divine is a guide. Divine helps guide us and helps us grow, helps us go down directions on our journeys, helps us discover new things, walks with us, protects us in those areas, but they don't judge us. When we go into the well, when we die and go into the well, we are judging ourselves. We are looking back in a reflective way at all the things in our life, all the different points of our life, different decisions and choices we made and things of that nature. And through that reflective process, we are judging ourselves and determining ourselves where we go in that rebirth. And there's all kinds of different places and ways that we can go through that rebirth and different adventures, I suppose, however you want to view it. But there's different space after that. But we have to go through that reflective work, and we have, in that shadow work. It is shadow work for the dead. Think about that for a minute. So when you enter the well, that's what you're doing. Hella is there to protect the souls as they are going through this process, to help guide them through the process and things of that nature. But she is not there judging. There is not a divine that's judging us. We are judging ourselves. So with that, she's really hitting on shadow work. And Leslie and I have talked about shadow work for quite some time, because our views on it are different than what people put out, of how you do shadow work, where you how you go back and live in that moment, and that's just not right. And so I'm going to have to do a lot more talking on shadow work and our theories on that, how we see it should be done, and the things that Hella told me about shadow work. Because here's the thing, if you can master these skills in life, if you can do compassionate reflection on yourself and your life and taking responsibility for your parts in things and being able to honestly look and honestly, speak about your past without constantly only blaming other people, or having a distorted view and blaming yourself and putting yourself into this grief space that you're to blame. There's a lot of moving things in life, and it's not all us, but we always play a part too. So if we learn these skills, if we do these things, we are able to have that tool set. So that little toolbox goes with us when we die. And that is going to make your time in the well much, much easier. It is going to make it so you get through it much quicker. I think that's why the well, everybody talks about, well, how long do you stay in there? That's the thing. It's up to you how long you stay in there. It's up to the work that you do and how you get through that. So, yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about shadow work, I guess, and our perspectives and my perspectives and things that she has told me, things that Leslie and I have discussed and looked at, and putting some new perspective there. So yes, there are a lot of different beliefs and theory on what happens after death, what kind of afterlife there is, and what that afterlife looks like. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what you think your afterlife is, because that's fine. It works in this scenario. The well is not where you stay. The well is just that in-between point between your death and your rebirth in whatever afterlife you're thinking. But the well is a necessary part that we go through. So yeah, this is just the beginning. I will have to keep talking and sharing. If you have questions, if you want to comment on this, you know where to do it. I hope that you're kind. I hope that you're not, one of those people that's, my way or no way. Because if you are, then you might not get some of this information. You might not understand it, and you might just spend longer in the well. I kind of hope you don't. I really hope you don't. We don't need to do this. We don't need to be hateful. We don't need to be mean, and we don't need to buck things. These are my experiences. This is what I'm being told. This is what I'm being shown. And all I'm doing is sharing this. And you're going to take it for whatever you take it. And that's fine. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. And I'm not here to tell you, what is and what is not. I'm just sharing my experiences, and I'm sharing what my guides are giving to me. And you'll make your own decisions on it. So yeah, shadow work. It's going to be a big thing. The well is going to be a big thing. Talking about these aspects, trying to give people some different perspectives and some different tools and a different way of looking at shadow work and going through shadow work to hopefully get you through the well quicker. All right. Have a good day.